Hello, Devlin here with you, and welcome to another edition of my pirate radio show. This is one of those special episodes that I call Frankenstein episodes, because basically we piece segments together that I've had in my vault for a little while. And these are fun episodes because, sometimes life gets busy, and I like to tape stuff that I can use at a certain time. So all the stuff you're hearing is new material. I'm going to get things started off right now, actually. I'm going to talk a little bit about my father. Father's Day is right around the corner. I thought since Mother's Day I talked a bit about my mother, it's only fair I talk about my dad. I love them both equally, and I don't want there to be any favoritism. They may be long gone, but I still think they look down and watch me. Coming up later in this set, we will also have a Topics Tease-O-Rama. And I've had a lot of people say, hey, you haven't done a Topics Tease-O-Rama in a while. Well, I have one in the vault, and we're going to get that out for you. It is with one of our friends here, one of my friends, Reid. He's been a co-host twice, and I absolutely love the man. And he did a Topics Tease-O-Rama with me. This is going back a couple months, so God only knows what we talked about, but I remember it being a lot of fun putting together. And speaking of fun, my third segment today, a couple of weeks ago, I went on a stepping out trip with Andrew Hops, another co-host that has been a co-host for a couple of times, 3 times in fact, and we had a lot of fun. We went for milkshakes, and, well, let's just say we did a lot of stuff, in fact, some adventurous stuff too, and I've got that coming up for you in the final segment today. So I hope you enjoy this Frankenstein episode, and it begins right now. So with Father's Day around the corner, I decided I should talk about my dad a bit. And I had a very good relationship with my dad. It was kind of hard at times because my dad wasn't a big talker. He'd get a couple of drinks in him and he might open up a little bit. He was a World War II veteran. He served two terms over in Europe, and he didn't talk about it much. Like a lot of old war veterans, it was just too hard for him. I've talked many times about how we had kind of a special ritual. My brothers didn't really have him a lot in early life because they moved around, and then my dad, being in the military, would be stationed somewhere, so he'd be gone for months on end. But he retired in 1975, so I had him when I was about 7, and I talked, I think, a few times about we would go to the movies every Sunday afternoon, and that would be our bonding time. We'd talk and get to know one another before the movie, and then we'd share the movie experience because we both were kind of movie buffs in our own way. I took it a little further than him. I have a lot of nice memories about my dad, and I'm sure I've shared a lot of them, but I'm not sure I shared a lot of the later ones because sometimes they were a little too hard to talk about. After my mom died, my dad, he was lost, but he didn't really want to admit it. We always tried to talk him into going into an apartment rather than staying in the big family home, but he'd always say that this is where he wants to be. This was his home, and he didn't want to leave. And I understand that, We had rented that house for so many years, and after losing my mother, and we tried to tell him all the pros and cons, and every time we thought we had him talked into it, he came up with a reason why he just didn't want to go. So unfortunately for my dad, he didn't have the luxury of my mother, who actually passed away in the family home, which is what she always wanted. My dad went to a nursing home. I know that's not what they call them now. They're long-term facilities or something like that, but they're still nursing homes. What happened was my brother and I would, all the brothers would, call him, go see him. We'd make sure that we rotated so we weren't all visiting on the same day. Sometimes, for special occasions, we'd all show up at the same time. But we wanted to make sure that he knew that we were always there. My brother Paul always took him grocery shopping, and I'd come and sit with him, watch MASH, talk to him, see if he needed anything. And one day, we had talked to him the night before, but my brother Paul used to, call him every day just to see how he was doing, and he didn't call him. And there was a day that they went shopping, and he called me at work, and he was frantic, saying, "It's not like Dad not to call me." And I said, "Well, maybe he forgot." And I said that, I hadn't seen him, because I wasn't living at the apartment yet. So I tried to call from work, and I'd got no answer, and Paul kept trying, and then finally both of us took time off work, and Paul picked me up, and we ran over there. I remember in the car we were just imagining the worst, that, yeah, it's possible he could have gone out, but we were wondering, what if we show up and find our father? And basically we came into the house not sure what we would find, and all I saw were legs laying in the kitchen. We ran over to him instantly, and, he was fine. He was alive, but not fine. He took a nasty fall in the kitchen several hours before and couldn't get up. Now, we had always tried to get him one of those things, and we should have, I know, bad children, but, you try to respect your parents. Even when they're starting to lose it, you try to give them their independence. And we didn't get him one of those, medic alert. He never wanted one. He just thought it would be too much of a hassle. And, yeah, in hindsight, yeah, we should have just forced him to take it. But in some ways, it turned out to be a good thing because, well, he got some help that he truly needed. You see, my dad kind of lost focus on his health because he blamed the doctors for killing my mother because she had just got her prescriptions changed, and there was an autopsy. It never showed anything like that, but he always thought, I'm not doing this. So we got him up. Actually, we didn't get him up. We called 911, and he says, "Oh, don't call 911. Just get me up, and everything's fine." Here's a man that's been laying there for hours, and all he wanted us is to help him up. And we tried to help him up, but he was just, we didn't want to hurt him anymore. And basically what happened was the 911 came, and we decided, no, look, we have let you be stubborn for too long. And he did not want 911 to be called, and he knew that it could be the beginning of the end, and we stuck to our guns. We said, look, we let you get away with some stuff, trying to give you respect, but this time you have no choice. We're getting you help and checking if you did damage. Well, all the medical problems that he had basically accumulated. And I'm not trying to go into a dark way. I'm just trying to give you some backstory. Basically, and after all the stuff, he was diagnosed with severe diabetes, and all this stuff that he'd been avoiding all his life came to pass. What made things worse is while he was in the hospital, he became really aggravated due to the fact that, basically one day he'd be fine, the next day he wouldn't. And we would always tell my the doctors and nurses, well, you do realize that not only is he dealing with all this new medical stuff that you're all finding out about, but he's also cold turkey giving up drinking because he's an alcoholic. And it was the first times we actually said those words. We might have wanted to dress it up as a social drinker or something, but we knew that our dad was an alcoholic. And he was dealing with this, and so visiting him at the hospital was tough because you didn't know what dad you were going to find. Sometimes, you'd go to the hospital and there'd be happy, smiling dad, joking around dad. Sometimes you'd get sad, depressed, I don't want to talk to anyone dad, I can't believe you did this to me. And then sometimes you came to just a downright, miserable, dad. But we knew that getting him the medical help was fine. They eventually talked to us and said that they thought it was best that he goes into a nursing home, because we'd basically have to dedicate, if one of us kids were going to take him in, he would need 24 hours care. This wasn't just we could take him in, go to work and have a nurse come in every once in a while. And so they recommended that he needs full-time care, and so he didn't even fight it. He knew he needed that, and he went into a nursing home. And for the most part, he was fine in the nursing home. We found him a really good one, and he enjoyed it. It wasn't till he was only in there for about a year, and he enjoyed it. Like, he was meeting people his own age. He was participating in stuff. We'd come visit him. One of my stipulations was, because I didn't drive, I wanted him close to me, so we actually had him just down the street so I could go see him any chance I could get. And it was something. I had a friend who recently lost a father, and he wound up going pretty quick, and they were worried that he was going to have to go into long-term care facility, the whole thing, but he wound up dying in the hospital. And at the same time as they were relieved that, he went quickly, I actually think my time in the last year and a little bit while he was in the hospital and then the nursing homes were some of the most memorable times. As I said, he was doing fine, and then he had a mini stroke, a very, very small stroke. But it was enough to change his mood, because he wasn't as mobile. He had to use a wheelchair to get around, and that was pretty much the beginning of the end. He had given up at that point. But as I said, I had some wonderful times in the hospital with him. Sometimes they were hard. I would actually go visit him, and I'd always go to the chapel before I went home to Mike, because of the fact that on the days Mike wasn't with me, he came to the hospital quite often with me. But I just felt that, I needed to kind of release, and I'd talk over the events that transpired. Because you were always learning new things. He's moving to a new floor. We've changed his medication. It was a lot to take in. So before I took all that stress home, I decided I'd clear it out in the chapel, and it was very helpful. As I said, I liked spending those times with him, because he started talking to me a little bit about, he'd tell me little memories about, little things he and his mom did. Like, I remember him telling us about skinny dipping, and can't even put, and I'm not trying to, in the way of thinking of my parents naked, I'm thinking my parents just didn't seem like the kind to just whip it off and go skinny dipping, So that was hard to put in mind. But there's another time. It's also nice to hear your parents were like that. And as I said, we talked a little bit more, and sometimes we didn't. Sometimes we just sat there. And he'd be watching TV, and I'd be watching with him, and we were just content being there for one another. I'd try to strike up a conversation, but I could tell instantly. You could read his moods if he just wanted. He never did drink again after that, but he did become just absolutely, he loved his 7-Up or Sprite. I can't remember which it was, but there was a vending machine, and we had to bring one with us. That was his treat. He got that when one of us showed up, because that was his now new alcohol. And he didn't drink a lot of pop, but when he started going into the nursing home, he just loved when he saw us. And sometimes I think he was happy to see us. Sometimes I think he was just, could you get me a Sprite? Did you get me one? And we'd always have one. I'm going to cry. I'll warn you right now. And I promise you, we'll be very lighthearted with the rest of this episode. One of my favorite moments with my dad And I may have shared this story again because, I'm at that age I start repeating things, but bear with me if I have. But a common joke with me is that I was never a big fan of the song Danny Boy. Yes, I admit it. I just never got it. I never felt it. I'd see people were visibly moved when Danny Boy was played, but I didn't get it. And when it was played on bagpipes, I just is there anything more worse sounding? Yeah, I'm a horrible person, I know, but it was just not my thing. And I remember Mike and I went to go visit him, and he was in the hospital, and this was at the hospital, not the nursing home. And the nurses knew his moods, and they eventually would give me a look before I got to the room, knowing, okay, your father's in one of those moods. And he was in a particular moody mood before we came, and the nurses said he was just out of control, but now he's just kind of pissed off and moody. So we tried to chat with him, but he wasn't having any of it. And so basically we just sat there with him. And Mike was there. And he was in a room with 4 other people, and they had all their curtains drawn and stuff. And I remember he needed some more water, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to go get it. The silence was getting crazy, so I'm like, yeah, I need a break. So I went and grabbed his cup and, went to go get it refilled. So I finally found the place. Couldn't find any nurses at the time, so I found a place, got some ice in it. And then I walked, and suddenly I hear this voice singing the most beautiful rendition of Danny Boy I've ever heard. And it was just angelic. And I was like, wow, this is nice. And as I walked towards the room, I'm hearing it more and more. And when I walked, I could see Mike first before I saw my dad, and Mike was giving me a smile. And I'm like, where is Danny Boy coming from? And when I turned around past the corner, for some reason, out of nowhere, my dad just started singing Danny Boy. And guess what? Yes, I cannot hear Danny Boy now without thinking of that moment, and I get misty-eyed now, even when the bagpipes are playing it. There was no rhyme or reason, and later we talked to the nurse and said, yeah, he'll do that occasionally. He'll just start singing. And I heard my father sing when he was drunk or something, but now apparently he had things prone to just singing, and to me that was just amazing. I also remember a funnier time where at the hospital he kept having delusions and stuff. I don't know if it was the medication or stuff, and I could tell you a ton of stories, but I know I'm running out of time, so I'll share you this one. He, and again, bear with me if I've repeated this story. You're going to hear repeats from me occasionally, but anyhow, he kept seeing this Joker. He'd call it the Joker. And we and my brothers were mystified about the Joker. And finally I decided to ask him, because just out of nowhere he'd be looking out the window, and we didn't know if it was the drugs or the hallucination, but he'd just look out the window and goes, yeah, there's that Joker laughing at me. And we'd be like, what's he looking at? And then he'd talk about the Joker coming to the end of his bed, and we were getting a little disturbed because we were like, is this haunting him? Is this something that's haunting him? So I remember talking one day with my dad, and I said, Dad, you keep mentioning the Joker. Do you mean the Joker in playing cards, or a court jester, or the Joker in Batman? And he says, yeah, like Batman, with the makeup and stuff. So it kind of disturbed us for the longest time that my dad was being obsessed with these images of this Joker haunting him. We also thought, oh yeah, the Joker. We got to the point where, yeah, the Joker's coming. and stuff. And then basically one day, me and my brother Ernie were sitting there visiting with him. He was falling asleep, and we were talking, and we mentioned the Joker. And another woman was there with her father, and the woman said, "I think your father means the clown that comes around." And I said, "What?" And he said, "There's a clown that visits here. And, you know, he comes, visits people, and not everybody likes clowns." I did not know my father, one, did not like clowns. And two, we started laughing, because we thought our dad was losing his mind. We thought he was being, you know, haunted by this fictitious thing. And here it turns out that this clown comes visiting the hospital all the time. And we just broke up laughing and couldn't wait to tell our brother Paul about the Joker, and that it's very real. And that my dad obviously just does not like when this Joker comes around and wants to, like, swing at him. Just a couple of the great memories I remember of my dad during a hard time. I always thought one day I'd like to do a show. As I said, my friend was so relieved that his father died quickly, but I'm kind of glad we had the extra time with him, because I seem to think that I grew closer to him in that time. Even though it must have been a very hard time for him. And I never don't think about that. But I remember there were times that he had real, genuine smiles. And when he said, "I love you," they were very genuine. So I would not change that for anything. Anyhow, I could sit here and talk about my dad, my mom for ages, but we have another rest of the show, and I promise you, sentimental stuff, well, it's not going out the window. Everything I do is genuine, but we got a couple more segments for you in this set. Hello, I'm here, and I've got a guest joining me. He's dropped by to do some topics Tease-O-Rama. He's a regular here, Gary Reid.
Hi.
Hi, you nervous?
Never.
A lot of people love topics Tease-O-Rama. For my regular people, and the people who haven't listened to it, basically, I have a whole bunch of topics and a hat. I don't remember them because I did them a long time ago, so they could be out of date. VHS tapes taking over beta. Okay, they're not that old.
Sarah Palin, make a good vice president?
There's some serious ones in there. There's some smutty ones in there.
Nice.
Lots of things. And what we're going to do is we just keep talking about it. If we're inspired, you and I, we could be talking about one topic. Mostly we usually get between 6 and 8, but hey, it's all about what we feel like talking. So you're going to grab the hat. You're going to be the man to pull out and read out.
You pull it out?
Gary never pulls it out. Oh, sorry.
Oh, read the other side.
Your job is to read it, yes.
Have you ever dressed in drag?
Oh, Lord.
I know that.
And we both answer these questions.
Yes, I have.
Have you?
Not for, like, you know...
For your own pleasures?
Not for pleasures or anything, but yeah, a few times I've done the Halloween costume.
That's right. I think one of the first Halloweens I saw you had big, massive tits.
There's a picture of us together now that I think about it. It's in a fat suit. It's with a slutty stripper fat suit, which I actually wore in a Slurred Visions horribly failed second sketch show where I did a lap dance for Brian. I was supposed to be a stag and doe for him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do I have to answer this question? Of course I've dressed in drag. Yes, we'll move it along. For Halloween, walking around the house. Okay, I don't dress in drag around the house.
It's all good. Has LinkedIn ever worked for you? I don't know what LinkedIn is.
LinkedIn is... Oh, so I guess it never worked for you. Well, it's kind of like a Facebook, but it's career-oriented.
Okay, so probably not.
Okay, I tried using this, and I've signed up, and I get people, they want to sign in with you, and every time I go there, it's just like, I guess it's good if you're looking for jobs, but it's like you're promoting, like, I'm an improv teacher and stuff, but it drives me crazy, and I've just always wondered, does it work for anybody? Because everybody's always like, I want to be your friend on it, but it's not like it's a social thing where I post songs. It's more like, I'd like to get to know you. I'm a CEO of a thing, and I just wondered if anybody ever got a job or got some kind of career forward with this.
Missing a liver.
Gary Reid didn't hear about it, and I still haven't.
I just haven't implemented.
Now I'm going to get all these LinkedIn people like, I want to be your friend.
Be my friend now.
What's our next topic?
Edible underwear.
Oh.
You know what?
Have you ever...
Never worn them.
Have you...
I think I've tasted them not on somebody. I think I've pulled a piece off because it's kind of like a licoricey kind of thing.
Okay.
I don't remember. What about you?
Do you think... I've never...
The thoughts, for starters, no matter man or woman, how attractive they are, if you break wind in your underwear, I don't want to eat it.
Okay, this sounds weird, but I've had many conversations about edible underwear, but I've never heard anybody talk about farting in them.
Does this raspberry taste like fart to you? You know what I mean?
Well, I always thought it would be funny if, you brought your lunch to work.
Yeah.
And you took out your lunch bag, and this was your snackables.
Like a fruit roll-up.
I always thought it'd be funny if you just suddenly, I'm just going to eat edible undies. I remember that I went to a convenience store once, and it starts off a horrible story because, actually it wasn't me, it was my friend, and he said that they actually had model glue. You know in the purchase, where you buy stuff right close?
Yeah.
He literally had airplane model glue. And my friend called him out saying, you just fucking want the kids to, be snorting it. They had it right on the counter,
Where was that?
It was a store in the Parkdale area.
Holy shit.
Anyhow, so my friend called him out saying, that's shitty.
Nothing, yeah.
That's shitty. You don't even sell models here. Okay? Wow. So anyhow, he called him out. The next time he went into the there, and he had no choice, he had to grab something quick, they had edible panties in its place.
They weren't glued in anymore.
No. And I just love the fact that now my impulse shopping includes edible panties.
And bottle glue.
Hey, Martha, I brought something for you.
Think I'm going to huff and then eat your ass.
All right. Got a craving for fruit roll-ups.
Nudist camps.
Have you ever been to a nudist camp?
No, but I've always wanted to.
Have you?
Yeah. I find the stigma behind them problem usually is that it's all a bunch of creepy old dudes and their equally creepy old wives.
But you see families, they're at the
That's what I mean.
table
Hey son,
and volleyball.
Get away from that old man's balls. I mean, I like the idea of walking around liberated, but I can't think of playing beach volleyball nude. I love swimming nude.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of things I would love to do nude. And if I was even more comfortable with how I looked, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But the problem is, there's some kind of lifestyle, like you said, where there's families and kids. Why would you have naked kids?
No, I don't. That's...
So,
I understand it's liberating, but I think the kids should have the decision when they hit a certain age.
Yeah, 16 and up or 18 and up.
Right, because honestly, I thought of being a young boy.
Pretty much drag.
I don't care if there's some 80-year-old,
Yeah.
The wind will make you hard when you're a kid, and you'd be I want to be cool and hip and say that I could do this. But I think I'd look like a Benny Hill sketch, and I'd be standing behind the bushes or waiting for them to bring a table to the recreational center, because I am a little insecure in that area.
Yeah. I think if it was more like Exit to Eden, where everybody was absolutely gorgeous and really cool.
I've heard a rumor though that you're really well endowed, so.
Oh, thank you.
I'd be. I like you
spread that rumor.
He didn't deny it. He didn't deny it. Did you notice that? So you're probably
relative term.
You'd be doing the naked rodeo with the lasso. Okay.
As I'm reaching for the hat.
Okay, Gary said move on. I don't want to talk about my cock anymore.
My penis, at least not from the outside. Liverwurst.
Liverwurst. Are you a fan?
Love it. Terrible name. Hate liver. As a child, it was like they're trying to torture me. What is this? Sustenance? No, this is organ. Blech.
I know we're going to talk about liverwurst, but my experience with liver, I had liver once in my life. My dad gave it to me, and I actually liked the taste of it.
Really?
But the aftertaste that lasted 3 days, it seemed, after brushing my teeth 20 times, and I could still taste liver, I said, Dad, I'm never eating liver again.
Yeah.
Because it went okay down, but then after, minutes after, it's oh, this better go away. And it just seemed, but I love liverwurst. I was brought up on it being German, you always had, liverwurst sandwiches. The name never scared me.
When you hear worst,
I know.
It's the worst liver you could
possibly
if you don't
be eating. If you don't like liver, and now this is the worst.
That's what I mean. So it took me a while to try it. This is like a pate with some different seasonings in it.
Pretty much all it is.
And I always just put it like on a multi-grain bread.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. So I love liverwurst.
We used to do that in the morning, We just get some rye bread or a cracker. Yeah.
But, no, God.
Okay.
I think you're repeating on you because you probably didn't want the body didn't want it.
Oh, probably. So 2 thumbs up for liverwurst, 2 thumbs down for liver.
That's right. The worst thing ever.
The worst.
All right. Big one. A song that you have sung in the shower.
A song that do you sing in the shower?
Oh yeah. Not all the time, but I definitely have. Yeah. You first.
I've sung many times in the shower. I sometimes don't even realize I'm singing, because I'll just be like, oh, why am I singing so loudly? But my favorite song, because of the acoustics, is Spandau Ballet's True.
Nice.
I find that I can actually hit the notes because of the acoustics in there, because there's some beautiful long, what I'm talking about. He's got some great notes. I don't think I can sing them at a karaoke, but when I got those acoustics working for me, I can do it.
Many songs, I think the one that sticks out is You're the One That I Want.
You sing that in the shower? Electrify.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to picture you singing that while you're...
I got chills.
You're cleaning...
The shower's too cold.
Cleaning your schlong.
Slowly.
Slowly.
If you could...
You're the one that I want. Okay, sorry.
If you could interview anyone in the world right now, who would it be?
Gary Reid.
Is that living or dead?
Gary Reid. It could be dead, but you wouldn't get much out of him. But you just noticed I said Gary Reid?
Thanks, man. This is Gary Reid. He's like... That's right. Thank God you didn't say GM Gomeshi. Too soon?
I think it'd be an interesting interview.
As long as you didn't watch what you put in your drink. Oh, no, that's Cosby.
No.
Sorry,
he has the bear. He has the teddy bear. Didn't he have the teddy bear with the camera in it?
No, I don't know. I don't follow any rapists.
Yeah.
But anyway, no.
Yeah, who would you interview?
Alive.
They do make the best interviews.
No, I mean, like, I would love to. I'm looking at Billy Vanna, and I'd love to interview Billy.
I know.
See, the thing is, who I'd like to interview, the problem is a lot of them would be women because they're just so gorgeous. Like Scarlett Johansson, Kate Blanchett.
So you just want to look at them?
Yeah, well, I look at them anyway, but Kate Blanchett is also very intelligent.
Yes.
I think for fun, like, it would have to be somebody who's like my brother just showed me a guy, and maybe you're familiar because you're a big pop culture person. Nardwuar, have you heard of him?
No.
The human serviette? From out from BC.
No, I think I would remember him.
Do some YouTube searches.
Okay.
I watched him interview the group Nerd with Pharrell, and he pulled out these random like albums and things that this guy was like, I can't believe. Oh my! Like he makes people shocked because they didn't know he knew all these things. He gives them like an album that's like Carl Sagan's Music of the Universe, and the guy's like, I can't believe you just. Oh my God! Like
nice.
Literally like. So I think that guy interviewing me would be cool because it's like he would do the research and like, oh my God, But for interviewing somebody else, like that's alive, I think it would have to be somebody that, like, there's so many people out there that are so interesting.
Yeah. Well, I love interviewing people, so.
I'm just trying to think of somebody that I would like. Maybe Willie Nelson would be cool because he's an older fella.
And he's probably got the stories in Willie Nelson's head.
And the weedy, probably.
Yeah, if he remembers them, he's got some kick-ass stories.
But like there's a few people like that. Like Bruno Mars is really cool.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind, getting to know him.
Well, I'll use my go-to one, and people are always like, it's not Olivia Newton-John. As much as I'd love to interview her, I always am afraid to meet your really biggest fan, because I think she would still come off as a nice person, but I'd hate to, interview somebody you really love and then find out they're
they're a bit of a dick.
But I don't think she would be. But I'm going to go with Shia LaBeouf, because I'm a big Shia fan, and I think he's just all out there. Yeah. We'll leave it at that. I just think because he's like this kind of a trailer park guy who became this big sensation and didn't know how to deal with it. Now he's winning people over with his really strange antics, and I would love to spend some time in that head. And his bed. But
we're flying through. There we go. If you could have one album on a deserted island with you.
I'm always talking music with you. This was not planned. These were done. That's hard. What album?
See, I would probably go with something. There's a lot of it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, because you don't want to listen to some short
45-minute album.
As much as unless you're getting the Beatles' greatest hits, you don't want one of their albums which clocks in at about 35 minutes, some of the early stuff.
That's what I mean, right? So if we're going by, because there's a lot of great albums.
I assume we're getting a record player as well. Because if it's just an album cover to look at, then
I mean,
it would be something different.
Well, I remember staring at the album Grease for the longest time, and I got to the point where it was uncomfortable. I would walk, and it would look like they were staring at me.
So you don't want that on the island?
No.
Unless you...
Stop watching me! No, I'm thinking like Pink Floyd The Wall be good because it's 2 albums, and it's got Comfortably Numb, some of my favorite songs on it. And it is a nice visual album.
I like that you get this question, you try to look at the logistics of it. I want something with a lot of it.
Yeah. Well, it's not my favorite Pink Floyd album.
No.
But
I like that you're going for it because you got some variety, you got some time to kill.
It's got a little bit of everything.
Yeah. I'd probably go cheap and go for a greatest hits collection or something. Somebody with a lot of hits. Like
ABBA's greatest hits.
ABBA, Olivia.
ABBA's greatest hits would be. Wouldn't get sick of that album.
No.
Some great
so greatest hits would be good, or like something like that.
But that's being spoiled.
Let's do one more. Yeah, I'm not picking.
You want to pick one?
One of my favorite albums. I'm going to say this because nobody's going to be like even heard of it. ELO has got a lot of great albums, but one of their flop albums is actually one of my all-time favorites. It's called Time. It was a album that was about kind of like space, and it's.
It's got like a space guitar kind of thing.
I'd have to look at it again. The cover wasn't really memorable, and the record company hated it. The only thing they liked on it is it had one song that was a hit. Hold on tight to your dreams. Hold on tight to your dreams. And they said, yeah, thanks for the concept album, but can we get more like that? And that's why we got Rock and Roll is King on the next album, which is pretty much the same song. But this was actually a whole little story about the future and this guy who was in a time machine taking it. I love that album. I really relate to it. So check it out if you get a chance. Time. They did much better stuff, but this is the one that I've always liked their stuff. Yeah, Out of the Blue, Discovery, they're better albums. But Time, I just check it out. It's very different. Ooh. Thank you. Anyhow, thank you. Did you enjoy Topics Tease-O-Rama? I enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed anything I do with you, but absolutely, that was cool. All right. Thank you, Gary Reid. Thank you very much. I'm stepping out. This is Devlin, if you haven't figured that out, but while you're on my show, if you know this. And I'm stepping out with Andrew Hops, who's a regular. You're almost a regular now. I am. I am like a good case of all-brand cereal. Yeah. Josh hasn't done his third one to catch up to you, and now you've got another stepping out segment. Come on, Josh! Come on, Josh! I like that people fight for that honor, but anyhow, we are stepping out. We are actually cruising today. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful evening. I love to cruise, which is really hard for me because I don't drive. But Andrew found out I like this, and so he picks me up every once. I feel like a senior citizen, and he gets me out of the home and takes me out on a drive, and we have a milkshake, and we look at pretty things. Pretty things. We're right now looking for a location to take a picture of me, because I'm an egotist. I put the window up. Just to cause no problems. Does that make sense? Yeah, but this is really good. It picks up, like, you'll hear that, but it's really good. Okay. This is really good. Yeah. I did an interview at a candle shop, and they were actually talking with this like dance music. You'd swear we were at some dance club, and you could hear it in the background, but it never washed out the talking. And I always loved it because it was funny because later I did a record store interview. They didn't have music playing, so
did they have candles burning?
No, that would have been awesome. But we went to a quiet place, so. But it was awesome. So this is actually a good recorder.
It's very nice. It's fun to do something different because it's amazing how many things you see in life, just like driving or walking or traveling on the bus, and you just, it's like we're so immediate, like, oh my God, that's so bizarre.
Yeah.
And then you just forget about it because we're constantly seeing new things, and constantly our eyes are drawn to other stuff, and we just forget.
That's really deep, Andrew.
Well,
we were just talking about our penises before the turned this on. A good cock dangling, I believe, came up.
Oh yeah, good cock dangling.
But I like that you went profound for my show.
Well, I always go profound.
Devlin is your co-pilot today.
Well, you know what? Let's keep this air flight safe and keep the cockpit full. You know what I mean?
Where are we cruising right now?
We are on Burlington Street.
Burlington Street. Not the number one place in Hamilton to be cruising, but we're looking for a place with greenery. And again, Burlington Street, not really the number one place, but...
Unless you know where to look, Devlin. I
must caution people that if they hear us sucking, we are drinking.
We are drinking.
There's nothing going on. So Mike and Brandy... If you're listening to this, like they listen to my show. I have a milkshake. Does she really?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, that's
actually
awesome.
My brother. No.
Yeah, the ones you were on, right?
Actually, my brother wants to listen to your Christmas show. My brother loves Christmas.
Nice.
And I told him about when I came down. So he wants to. He actually asked me. I swear to God, today.
I love that.
He could have a link to your Christmas show. He could listen to Christmas stuff. If you do a Christmas section in July, he would listen to it.
Oh, that's good. Well, if he listens to it in July,
he would.
That would be similar.
He would. Complete. Ooh, where is the greenery, Devlin? Hello.
Eastwood Park.
Eastwood Park.
This is great. Oh, and that's not young boys playing baseball because that's probably not appropriate. Me standing with them all.
There's other boys playing with other balls.
That's a different park, but that's not bad. But it's a little crowded, but we'll find something. I don't care if we're standing in someone's yard. That'd be just awesome. Just running in.
Don't mind us.
No, I actually like that you're telling me your relatives, because I'm starting to get offshoots now. Like before, I knew my friends listened. Right. Now I'm starting to get offshoots. I was at Value Village, and the candle guy shop, Wes Fletcher, his mom came up to me and said, "You did a great job interviewing my son," and I sent out the thing to other people.
That's awesome.
So I love that. It's starting to happen.
Now, sorry, to go back to this candle shop. Do they just sell candles and like candle holders?
Yeah, he makes them. It's awesome.
That's amazing.
It's on Ottawa Street. You should check it out.
I will.
It's if you're a candle fan, they're amazing, and he does such a great job with it. We're now coming up to the West Harbor. Oh, Pier 4. I come here for Pride Day, where they ignore me.
Why do they ignore you?
They don't want me to be gay.
Oh, really?
I've had letters said, "Could you please become straight? You're just bringing down our average." I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding. I was thinking, what do you think? Andrew, you're my sounding board on this. I was thinking of bringing this to Pride Day and trying to talk to people.
I think that's a great idea.
Do you think they would talk to me?
I think if anyone will talk to you, it will be people who are at Pride and willing to support it.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I might do it. I might do it. Yeah, well, you know what? Me and the gay community are not best buddies. No, even my gay friends, they don't tend to really like hanging out with me. Now, I hope I get a slew of letters from people complaining about this because
you know, it'd be a nice photo.
That would be lovely. Sitting on a rock by the bay.
Sitting on the rocks by the bay.
Now, should we turn it off or should just take them and talk all the way through the photo?
Oh, we can talk all the way through.
Okay, we'll do that. Can I put my thing in your holder? That's my milkshake again for Brandy and Mike out there where nothing crazy going on.
I'm going to bring my drink with me because it's so damn good.
Well, I have to take a picture. I don't want to promote McDonald's. I'm not getting no money from them. Except I just promoted them by saying it.
Am I taking a photo of you?
Yeah, we'll try to get one of us too. Sorry, if you're hearing me uncomfortable right now, that's me trying to get out of the car because I don't look glamorous. getting out of a car. I'm glad we don't have cam at this moment. Listen to nature. Oh, I'm glad you don't. I can't. Glad you can't smell it. Oh, what the hell is that? That's right.
Do you want my phone or?
No, I got a camera there.
Oh, okay.
I come prepared.
You could get into the tree.
Yeah. No, I'm not getting into the tree.
You should.
Hey, there's people walking by.
Hey.
They must be gay. They didn't talk to me. No, I'm just kidding. I got a couple. Straight couple. I'm calling them gay. No wonder people don't talk to me. Okay, I don't know how to work this. Okay, you want to hold the microphone? Mm-hmm. Don't drop that.
You're with
my
me
livelihood
right now. Just Devlin has his hands all over a camera, and I almost feel like Mr. Fred Penner is gonna come crawling out of the woods. Like, he just comes crawling out of that tree.
Okay, I'm not gonna go.
You have to get into that tree.
How am I gonna get into that tree? How about one of these?
Maybe the tree can get into you.
Okay. Don't take any pictures of me trying to climb. I'm not climbing a tree. I don't want anyone to think that. Do you want me to take that? Or?
Oh yeah, you take that.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to.
You want to sit on one of these?
No, I'll try to go there. Andrew wants me to go there. Oh, this is great. We're professionals here.
Your camera's confusing.
Excuse me. Do you work with what does that say? Oh, sorry. So if you press that. Okay, now it's ready. Oh, I hope that.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay. So
you gotta press.
You have to press it twice. Okay. Yeah, this ain't happening. This is not happening here. Oh, here, this could do it. This could do it.
Can you get some photos of you in action?
Yeah, you should, but they may never be shown. I'm totally gonna fall.
I'm not gonna fall. If you believe you fall.
Okay, this is me doing action stuff, so if I fall to my death right now, Andrew will have some pictures of it, and he'll probably say some kind words.
These are like.
Is this good? Here, let me take some.
Walk like a man. With Howie Mandel.
I'm not going to admit that on air if I did. No, I've never seen it.
Okay, well,
here, I'll take some great. Here, just in case I fall for my art and I don't make it to the big tree that Andrew thinks would be a good idea. I'm shutting up so I smile.
Beautiful.
Are they taking some?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so 4 or 5.
Okay, I don't like that I'm on a real bad angle here. Weren't you the one who said you would like to camp with me?
Why don't you sit on this rock, Devlin?
It's dirty. I'm going to kill these plants. Okay, we'll do that. Can you get trees and stuff in the back? You're right, though. That tree is wonderful. Okay, if I wasn't recording, it might be easier, but I'll try up here. I'm doing this for Andrew. This is my new Don't Give a Fuck. I think I've killed about 18 plants. I'm not climbing the tree, just so you know. But listen to that nature. Listen. That's me stepping on stuff. I'll climb you when I get down there. See what I'll do for you?
I know. This is a massive
look at bugs. I don't have my Reid wipes. Reid. They kill insects. I'm never getting down from here, so take some good pictures. Do I need to hug it? Some tree hugging pictures?
Ooh, it scares you.
Is that too...
Now this tree scares you.
What do you want? Happy, sexy?
Now the tree's told you a joke. Oh, wait, is that bark on your face? What have you two been doing?
I have one look. I really have one look.
Okay, seduce the tree.
It doesn't have nipples. It's hard. It's my foreplay. Go for it.
It has big holes, though.
How about this? I don't look exotic doing this. How about that? That's macho. Right. That's macho, yeah, right. Can I go down there?
Yeah.
Okay, don't...
Actually, wait, can I just say, I just want to take one more.
You're not even... Oh. This is going to be... I don't think I'm even in this picture.
You're not... Wait, yes, yeah. This is really nice.
Corda, it's quiet right now because we're concentrating. You'll get to see these pictures. Oddly, these pictures will air before this episode that we're recording right now. So here's more crunching. Get these pictures because of the fact that if people think I'm just like rattling newspaper or something. There's not too many people I would have done this for. It's pretty steep. Well, I feel safer, but I have the microphone in my hand, and I don't want to lose it. This is crazy, and I love it. This is it. Look at that.
Look at you go.
Now get me in that car, and I don't want to get out again. No. Try not to kill the plants.
There you go.
Thank you, Andrew. That was more fucking adventure I'll do all summer than... That was a good tree picture. I hope we got at least one good one.
No, I got some really nice. I really like the ones I took because you see a little bit of green in the front. And
Cool.
you see some big bark in the back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We still got time to ramble on for a bit.
It's still chilly, too.
Yeah, it is. I wore my sweater. It's a great summertime photo of me. Yeah, I want one of these to air on my Victoria Day special, which is a little different.
Well, that's next week.
Yes, it is, but if we talk about it now, this is probably going to air about a month after that, so...
Okay.
It's already passed. Oh, we didn't get a picture with us. Can we do something in the car since we need one for the cruising segment? I have to get really close.
That's all right.
Yeah, I know, it's hard to do a selfie when you can't look.
I don't know if this is going to work.
We keep going, baby, until it works.
Does that work, you think?
Hey, you gotta
Do
turn.
another?
You gotta turn. Check.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah, we can do it and then quickly turn around.
Oh,
Oh,
think
I
did.
saw us. I saw us.
Yeah.
Here, let me get one of you driving. Oh, that's hot. That's as fast in the view as 8 babies. Oh, hey. Actually, you had this really and then you laughed. I made you laugh, but it's good. Go on, you can really drive if you want. You didn't expect it. Thank you for that.
No problem.
Oh, wow. Can you believe we actually drove here? I climbed a tree, and that was only 13 minutes.
Are you still recording?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nobody needs to know that. I can't turn this out. Oh, let me turn my thing off. I know. If they knew where the microphone was right now, they're probably hearing it muffled because it's between my legs.
You'd probably gain about another 10 or 20 listeners.
My crotch.
My crotch.
My crotch cam. It's not a cam, it's a microphone. Oh, Sandra, what should we do next now that we've done all the stuff that we're planning to?
I wouldn't mind just cruising a bit. Checking out the bimbos. Checking out the ladies.
That's how he talks.
That's how I talk now. That's my new...
Andrew doesn't know I'm gay, so I just come pretending that I'm looking
sorry,
at the
you're
bimbos
gay?
too. Yeah.
Oh, God. I was way off.
Don't worry, Brandy. When he sees a bimbo he really likes, I always put my hand on his knee and it makes him forget all about it. Of course, I say you're married after I do that. Of course.
Of course.
Because I'm a friend. I'm a good friend.
Yes, you are. It's so nice to see you on
Is it just me that since you said we're looking for bimbos, all I see is kids and their soccer moms?
I love a good soccer mom.
Who doesn't?
They know how to drink. They know how to keep balls in play, if you know what I mean.
I don't know if this is good radio, but who gives a shit?
It's good radio.
Mm-hmm.
Alright,
Just take us anywhere. I trust your judgment. See, the thing about cruising, for you youngins that don't cruise anymore and you just go on virtual reality Sims cruising, you just go anywhere. You really just go anywhere.
one of my favorite things to do is when I first moved to Ontario from Quebec, I really knew no one, and I used to drive around. I didn't work weekends, and I would basically get in my car and drive to Fergus, get in my car, drive to St. Catharines, to Niagara, to Guelph, and I would go off-roading, and not onto the grass and everything, but go off regular streets.
Sweet.
And I learned, and I found so many beautiful places that just were if I never would have done this, I would never would have seen this. And I think it's such a great thing to do just because, whoa! Accident!
Yep.
Almost happened!
Yeah.
Wasn't my fault!
No, we must stress that.
Yeah, it really wasn't. You know what's funny? Here's another little funny story. Have you ever heard someone who got into an accident say, "Oh yeah, it was my fault completely"?
No.
It's always, "Oh, it's the other person." It's the other person hit me. The other person did this. It's never my fault. I want you to say that accident was all my fault. Anyways, so anyway.
If I knew how to drive, yeah, it probably would be, because I don't know how to drive, and why am I behind a car? Well, I know what you're saying. When my sister-in-law used to do that, we'd pick a direction and just go. Where my brother was always like, "No, we must know exactly where we're going," and
It's so fun just to go to a new place.
Well, wasn't it you I was talking about, that we should do a road trip? Like, just a day trip, and then just, like, record?
I think so, yeah.
I think we should still do that.
Yeah, that would be fun. Especially this time of year coming up, it's a good time to...
What's your go-to cruising music?
You know what? I'm a big talk radio fan, like a News Talk 1010 talk radio. But if I had to listen to some...
You're supposed to also say Devlin's Pirate Radio Show.
Well, that goes without
saying. We know you listen.
I usually listen to it when I'm in the tub.
Yeah, ooh, I like that.
Or going to Quebec.
I like that. It's like I'm scrubbing your back. Okay, go-to music if you had to.
Oh, Lord. I'm a big Tears for Fears fan.
Are you really? That's right.
Yeah. I love Tears for Fears.
And you also like Roam If You Want To. I always think of that now because you requested it that one time when we were at Kelly Tilma's house.
Yes, that's right.
Name dropping. Look at me.
You be name dropping.
You're in a hospital and you get a nurse named Kelly Tilma. We name dropped her.
Kelly is such. Those who don't know her, she is one of the most loveliest people in the world.
It is.
And
she is. I meant his words are true, not it is.
Yeah, she is such a sweet, sweet, sweet person.
She is. She is wonderful in all ways. I'd love to have
You'll have to get in on that.
You turn that sweet moment into kind of dirty, but I like it.
Kelly would laugh.
That's why we're good friends.
Let's go visit Kelly!
We're on Barton Street. We tend to go on this street a lot.
Well, it's fun.
It is.
It's a fun place. There's always something to see.
Really?
People to meet.
We're missing the obvious.
And prostitutes to pick up.
Yeah, we weren't sure if we should talk about that.
Well, we're going to talk about it because there's one right there!
They're out early because we've still got the daylight.
She looks like Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah, one thing that we found out was that he told me, and I hope your wife doesn't mind this, but you mentioned that you and Brandy like to do a hooker watch.
We do.
On Barton Street. And then I told him, Mike and I do it too. And we didn't know this was a thing. We always thought this was exclusive, and tonight we're making it a thing.
You know what's funny is
we're going to inspire people to jump in their cars, go down Barton, and see hookers or see us looking at hookers.
I actually saw. I swear it was a male hooker.
Oh! I was way too excited.
Well,
how much do I have on me?
No, and the only reason I'm like, he must be one is because there's a thing that street walkers. There's one right there.
Is that one?
Oh yeah, that's one.
That's like fishnets. That's old school. High heels.
Yeah, no kidding, eh?
High heels.
Is she drinking alcohol?
I don't know. No, she's talking on the phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's one.
We have spotted a hooker.
Number 2.
And we are not degrading her. We think she's wonderful. That she's... Ain't nothing going on but the rent! That's his knuckles cracking. I just want to imply that if you heard a word noise. You go, girl! That's probably not appropriate.
But the guy did this to me. He was like...
Oh, yeah, the guy hooker. Yeah.
I was like... I was just so surprised.
He was probably thinking, what a fucking meal, I'll pay you. Did it look like me at all?
I knew I saw you somewhere.
Anyhow, we're running out of our time for our segment. I urge you to go and support the working class community by heading down to Barton, grabbing a milkshake, and looking for those women and salute them. They're out early tonight because we don't even have darkness, and they're out. And so Andrew and I are going to go and salute them, and we hope you do that too. And if you are a prostitute and listening to this, hey, say hi. Say hi. Well, maybe we'll try to get a picture with them. I still got my camera.
Get them to our Devlin's Pirate Radio show.
Okay, on that note, we're leaving.
All right.
Say goodnight.
Good night. Thank you.
See you soon. Well, there you have it. Another episode of Devlin's Pirate Radio. Next week, we'll be back with a regular episode, and thank you for listening today and your continued support on this project. I couldn't do it without you. I will talk to you all very, very soon.